What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be doing a science experiment with this. Okay, so I haven't put anything out on the lawn this year. Nothing. Zero. It hasn't even had irrigation yet. This area behind me is, let's call it 1,500 square feet from here back. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take this right here and I'm going to go ahead and spray just that section. As temperatures warm up, this is going to start to kind of chew away with some of that extra debris that's on the ground. So later, as we get closer to summer, we'll come back out here and run a little side-by-side comparison, bringing the Sunjoe dethatcher out, and we'll run it over here. We'll kind of know where that line is, and we'll just check between the two areas that get this versus the area that doesn't get it, and see what it looks like. Ooh, hear that? It's all foamed up. See, there's no more liquid sound. She's alive. It has been a month, so we need to do some tests. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pull some cores. We're gonna take a look at the actual thatch layer. Something I wish I would have done ahead of time, so I apologize I didn't do that, but we can still get a good idea. We'll pull it from a couple of different places. Do 2 or 3 from over here, 2 or 3 from the area where we didn't do anything. And then I'll run the Sunjoe across this, and we'll see how much just kind of loose grass debris is coming up. You know, bear in mind that the robo mower is doing most of the work. When it isn't, like if I just decide to stripe this thing with my the Husqvarna gas mower, that I'm pulling the clippings out of that. So, you know, realistically, there could be some dead matter. We shouldn't really see a whole lot of clippings on either side or sort of debris, but we'll probably see some. The concept here is this should just have considerably less than what's on the untreated side. So that's what we're gonna find out. So the samples, you know, from here don't really look a whole lot different, aside from there's way more moisture on the side where I'm watering with my Green. I'm gonna need to crank this one up over here. It's just, these are super dry, super duper dry. So this might not be the best comparison. I might be able to do better, because really on most of these, on the areas that came out of the section where I did the dethatch, we're looking at like a 1/2 inch roughly in the thatch layer right in here, and yeah, about a 1/2 inch kind of right into this zone right here. Okay, on these it varies, and it might be because there's just so much more moisture, but for most of it, a little over 1/2 inch. Five-eighths maybe on most of these, just a little bit. You know, without like doing a full root wash and breaking it all down to see like how much is totally there, which I suppose we could do with one of these samples. What the heck, let's just do it. So here's a couple of things to note about the dethatch. It has yeasts, it has sugars, it has molasses, it has humic, it has a little bit of extra potassium. It just is designed to kind of work with your existing soil microbiology. Give it a little bit of extra food, a little bit of extra energy, and that's really what's helping here. Okay, just a glaring difference here. I just want you guys to see. Okay, so I mentioned, see, there's polymers in this one too. I hadn't been running biostims on this side. I was also able to get a little deeper into the ground with my hole cutter, but look at the difference in what roots are where. Now, this has been about when did I start doing this? 4 or 5 days ago, I started putting RGS back out here. Maybe a little bit more than that. Look at all those polymers in there. Oh, that's so cool. Look at these roots, which has had stems on it, biostems this year. Bigger, thicker, a lot more rhizomes. Clearly that's contributing to a better turf color on that side, okay? So I've got a considerably more dense root structure, but now since I've been running this other side, I have a lot more new root hairs poking through. You can see all the little white ones that are like new growth coming through on the other side. So that's all just been happening recently because I've been pumping that RGS out through the Green where I haven't been doing it on the other side. So this here, I have so much more rooting than I do on the other side. But also, now you can kind of see, even if I try to flatten them out, the difference here, just side by side. This one in the hand feels a lot spongier than this guy. This is just a bit more dense, okay? The roots are just stronger than this. But I think we can get a little bit better idea of what the overall actual thatch layer is when we look at it like this. Okay, so I'm gonna start down there and I'm gonna run a few passes. We'll do 4, like this. Come down, you'll see, you can almost see where the color change is. That's where it shifted over. So let me just run some passes. If you can't see that, you're crazy. Let's take a closer look. Now, the thing about this is pulling like dead clippings and things like that. So there's 2 things that we could say here. Number 1, the grass is just generally healthier on this side. Okay, yeah, probably so. It's darker, it's healthier, it looks better. Maybe I'm yanking up some other stuff that wasn't really well connected over there, but this is pulling from underneath. You can see the difference. There's some live material, but not a lot. This is mostly just old dead grass that's kind of down underneath, and there's not a lot over here. Let's go over here. You can see exactly where the line changes. Right there. What is up with that? Okay, so what are we learning out here today? A few different things. Number 1, we're seeing a much better root structure. That's pretty awesome. We're seeing, from what we can tell, this isn't a lab, it's a lawn. A little reduction in the thatch, the overall thatch layer that's in the turf, but a considerably different looking root system. Very, very different looking root system. We're seeing a lot more debris coming from one side versus the other side. So maybe we're not getting as much cycling out of these clippings, or is it because the material that's being applied is doing other things to the plant to make it stronger so that we're not having issues on this side? So here's the thing. If you are gonna get in there and comment and doubt or do anything like that, it's totally fine. I welcome that. But here's the problem that I see for many people out there. In one way or the other, you're gonna prove that something happened, right? It either is digesting the thatch or it's making the turf healthier. And for a lot of people, they have a hard time admitting that some of the stuff that I do makes turf healthier. So which is it? Is it making an impact on the thatch and the reduction of other material that's being put back down? Or is it just making the turf healthier? That's it. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.